Hello, Euphorians!
Hello, Euphorians.
Live from New York City tonight. And
Live
I'm
from New
feeling
York. It's That's So Euphoric.
It is that so euphoric.
We're joined here tonight with the guest star, Meatball, the famous TikToker.
Amazing Meatball.
4 million views.
Praying that he is not annoying and like loud during this episode. He's ruined like every episode.
Yeah, he's also our musical guest tonight, so he'll be doing a little song and dance later.
No, he won't.
Sure, he might be.
I really hope he doesn't.
Knowing him, he might be. He might be doing a little screaming.
He's a little vocal, but you know, what can you say? It's Sunday, and honestly, I feel like I'm like embodying Rue in that entire episode. I'm sweaty as fuck. Our apartment is like, I don't know what's going on, but the heat is on at like 105 degrees today.
Yep, they're cranking it.
It's cold outside.
Great.
It's like 20 degrees in New York right now, so I get it, but I also am just like, really? And we're both extremely hungover. We went out Friday and Saturday night, like every weekend. And yeah, like I've got to like honestly get Sam on speed dial. I do not like this Euphoria drop of the episodes on Sunday because we're always hungover, and then we have to do the Lord's work of reporting on the episode.
Yeah, we need to talk to HBO about this release schedule.
Let's
see if we can get this switched around, because this is not this isn't working. You know,
we need to get HBO on the line.
So we're in our home all day, every day, 5 days a week. So Friday and Saturday night, we like have to go out. It's non-negotiable.
No. And it's like, we just live in hoodies all day. I've got like bags under my eyes. I'm always sweating. I have acne. I have a cold sore right now. Like, my life is just up in flames.
Talk it up, girl.
It is in flames, but it is nowhere near Rue's state of mind. Nowhere. At least I'm not Rue. At least I'm not Rue.
Better off than Rue, that's for sure.
Also, I was thinking about this the whole episode. I don't know if you were, like, I don't want to obviously like dive right in, but I was cracking up at all the talk about Dare last week and how they were saying like drugs are so glamorized. Dare, have you seen episode 5 of Euphoria?
Are they watching the same show?
Are they even watching the show?
It's looking quite unglamorous to me.
Yeah, well,
His ass is about to get trafficked.
Oh my god. Well, should we? I'm honestly sweating my ass off. I feel like I need some champagne.
Let's pop some champagne. Yet again, we have failed to acquire cooks. It's
I know. You know, there's a cooks drought in New York City.
After we talk to HBO about the release schedule, we also need to talk to Constellation Brands about the cooks distribution.
I'm scared. Whenever you pull the cork, I can't cover my ears because I have headphones on. Oh fuck.
There it is. Yeah.
I feel like we should just take a quick swig out of the bottle before we pour a glass.
Sure, here, please.
Since we're so like
start us off there.
Yeah, since we're so like hungover, I feel like this is a vibe.
That is a vibe. Yeah, we really need to talk to them.
I can't believe we're even drinking right now.
Here. They already missed a huge opportunity to market cooks alongside Euphoria after the appearance in season 1. So
I know.
They're just like totally blowing it right now. Their
Cook's
distribution's
champagne.
shit. Like Constellation Brands, like hook us up. Come on.
I know. They really need to get us an ad. But yeah, anyway, so we are a little bit hungover and rough, but like we are here to deliver and do our best. Oh, I need to get a glass.
You do. Well, if you want any champ, you do.
I know, I do, because I'm fucking sweating.
Alright, here you go.
Thank you. Wow, what a pour. That's so nice.
Might as well be generous.
Yes, thank you. Well, let's cheers to a really fucking good episode. Wow.
It's wild.
So wild. So euphoric.
All right.
Champagne is really hard to guzzle. Not that I'm like trying to guzzle it right now, but you know what I mean. Like taking a big giant sip is like not advised. Like I always end up like burping or something.
It's not very ladylike of you to be guzzling champagne.
Yeah, because I'm so fucking like ladylike right now. Wow. This is the most ladylike. So, yeah, where do we even start? Oh my gosh. Okay, on top of having like a party weekend, the most like incredible thing happened last night. It's fucking insane. Euphorians.
Tell them all about it.
I will paint the picture. So I dragged Alex to go see Casey Musgraves with me, which by the way was amazing.
I don't know if dragged is the right word. I like Casey Musgraves.
I know, but you know what I mean. It's not like your usual scene.
No.
We had a little date night, but anyways, we were at Casey Musgraves at Madison Square Garden, and I ran into fans in the bathroom, and they fucking recognized who I was. So they asked sick. Because I was wearing the
first time either of us have ever been recognized.
I was fucking floored. Like,
so that's so euphoric.
And I get it, because like I was all dressed up for the concert. I obviously didn't look like this, so like
That's an occasion.
I know.
This is like a historical moment.
Well, also shout out to Donnie Davy though, because I was wearing her little like star stickers that she did that Hunter wears in season 1, the little like decals, the makeup decals, and so they picked those out and were like, "Are those Euphoria branded?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then they started whispering, the 2 girls that noticed me. And they were whispering, and then they were like, "Okay, we have to ask you, do you have that one, like, Euphoria podcast?" They were being all, like, shy about it, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, how did you recognize me?" And then they pulled up our Instagram. It was adorable. So, shout out to the 2 adorable ladies at MSG, and cheers to them.
Shit. Yeah,
they also
absolutely.
looked so hot.
Huge
they had the best
shout.
makeup. They were drunk. They were having fun. Like, they were just vibing, and we were all just, like, it was a girls' bathroom moment. Not like Maddie and Cassie in the bathroom. Let's just say that.
So
it was
euphoric.
a good moment. It wasn't a dramatic moment. Dramatic. I can't even speak.
Dramatic.
Dramatic.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Meatball, you rearranging here?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
So that happened,
what
which was
a-
insane.
That's fucking nuts.
So cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if you ever see me in New York City, like, you better come up and say hi to me.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
At least in this stage. Maybe if we get really famous, we'll be like, please never approach
I'll be like,
us,
fuck
but
off. Like,
for right now, it is very flattering.
no, I would never do that. You know
appreciate
me.
the love.
I'd be so amped. But yeah, and Meatball just might be grooming this whole episode, but you know, he just wants to look
he's
his
fine.
best. He wants to look euphoric.
Yeah.
But anyways, so what else? What else is new in the Euphoria world? Anything crazy?
I was gonna give a big shout out to the whoever is running the Euphoria social media account over at HBO is doing a fantastic job. And if you're a Euphoria fan and you're not following that, you absolutely
Of course they are.
should be.
Euphoria fans follow the official Euphoria account.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. If you're a Euphoria fan and you're not recognizing the amazing comedic masterpiece that is their current social media, you are really missing out, because whoever's running it has run with this like almost like absurdly like simple brand of like flat-faced humor that's just fucking funny.
Well,
And it
it's like
really,
almost like they're
it's like my
stoned.
type of humor. It really get me. I'm like, yes, this is good.
Well, like, for example, like the one
Pull up
that
some-
got us
give me some good examples here.
the one that got us like rolling on the fucking floor was the one about Ashtray.
Yeah, here, give me some. Let me get some good
Well,
examples.
it's kind of hard on the bed here. We don't really have the best setup here. Let's see.
Yeah, let's get the one.
Let me pull up the account. It says, let me find it. I think it just says he.
From the first episode, they posted one of Ashtray that said like he's eating cigarettes.
He's eating those cigarettes or something. Well, I have to find it.
That
It's
one's
gonna
pretty
take me a
amazing.
long time.
All
Our
right,
internet's
never
being
mind,
fucking
never
slow
mind.
right
Go
now.
check it out.
Yeah, but it's fucking
amazing.
funny.
The Ashtray one's my favorite.
It's the
but they're all
captions.
really good. The captions are amazing. They're so fucking funny.
I like that you're like, they're amazing. I was like, is this person just stoned every day? Like, okay, like tonight is the caption. Just tonight. I'm like, that's it?
Love that. It's like minimalist.
Literally like so minimalist.
Minimalist humor.
Okay, here's Ashtray. It says he's eating cigarettes.
That's genius.
And it goes so well with the photo because it's kind of a derpy photo, like of Ashtray. You know what I mean? Though it's kind of derpy.
God, that's fucking
He eating
funny.
cigarettes, and then there's like so many other funny ones. Like
There's some gold in there.
there's one of Maddie and Cassie that this one. It's just Maddie and Cassie, and it says "in love with Nate Jacobs." That's it. It's like that's all you thought
That's
of.
great.
I
True.
wonder.
They both are in love.
Well,
with
I like
Nate
how you're
Jacobs.
like, oh, like I love this. I'm like, are they getting paid for this? Because they're not doing anything. They're.
It's amazing. It's like minimalist.
Do you think it's like an intern?
Humor.
It must be like an intern.
No, I think this is like calculated. I think this is intentional.
Yeah, yeah.
It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
I
I'm here
I
for
would
it.
think. I don't
Or
know. I
if they're
love it.
not trying to be funny, they could just be in our state of mind where they're like, God, I went out Friday night, Saturday night, and now I gotta fucking think of a
They're
caption
like,
for this
"Fuck,
shit.
I don't know. He's eating cigarettes.
I don't know. In love with Nate Jacobs,
Yeah.
great.
I mean, they are. It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So
Big fan.
funny. Other than that, though, like cast wise, McKay was trending on Twitter.
Oh yeah, big McKay moment.
Yeah, I posted
A lot
that.
lot of discussion about whether McKay is an anti-vaxxer or not,
Which is so dumb, and not
whether he
McKay.
has, like beef or
Algie Smith. But yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe McKay too, though. Maybe they did mean McKay as a fictional character.
Luckily, COVID does not exist in the Euphoria universe.
Thank
so
fucking
far,
God. I'm so
let's
tired of
hope they
talking
keep
or
it that way.
hearing about COVID.
Yeah, a lot of discussion about that.
Well, he was
Beef
just
on
trending because
set.
people are still like upset that he's not in the episodes.
Yeah, And there's all these like theories going around about why he's like in the season less. Like some people are obviously like he just gotten written off. Some people said there was beef.
Yeah.
Some people say he's an anti-vaxxer, so he couldn't be on set like enough. Like
honestly,
I
don't really care. All the love in the world to Algie, but I just like don't care. He's off in college, you know. Best wishes. He's having a good time in college.
Yeah.
He does not need to be like, look what the hell everyone's going through in this season. Like, Algie Smith's just like, I'm backing this one out. Like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm in college. He deuces.
Go enjoy a normal college life, my dude. You made it out of Euphoria
If he could see how
High.
Cassie's doing right now, he certainly wouldn't be like down anymore. I don't think.
He made it out of Euphoria High.
Yeah, he's fine. Everybody calm down.
He's in a good place.
And like calm down on
Hopefully.
the anti-vax stuff. Who cares? Like let him live his life. Not who cares, but like,
It's just, like,
it's just fake
completely
news. You can't like
unsubstantiated,
just start talking about people's lives like that and like make assumptions.
There's just like mad rumors flying around about the Euphoria set. All of a sudden, everyone's like, this person walked off set. This person walked off set.
This person's pissed.
This person have beef. It's like, what? Where the fuck is this coming from? None of it's substantiated. I don't care.
Then Barbie also was commenting on like the press, just like always talking about her body, which like I get. That poor girl, like it's just annoying. It's annoying.
It's just like shitty like media stuff. It's like what is the point of all these stories?
And it happens to, you know, obviously it's always women that have to go through this shit. Not always, but mostly, like it is.
Sure. Of course.
And it's like nothing works, right? Like they have to talk shit on Barbie's body, and then they have to also talk shit on like Sydney Sweeney at the same time. It's like they can't drop it.
But it's not even like they always pose it like it's positive, and it's like how about you just don't talk about it at all?
Exactly.
Like, it's not that they're talking shit; it's that they're talking about it at all, and it's like why
it's
is
irrelevant.
this like worthy of writing an article about? Like
let's talk about her career. Let's talk about what she's doing in Euphoria. Let's talk about Kat.
She's
like
just fucking existing. Like
yeah, and it does suck too
So
because think about it this way too. Her character in the show, yes, is going through body issues, but that's not who the actor is. So it's like, that's not relevant to like her life. So just shut up. So she was just posting about that. And I was like feeling angry for her because that would just really piss me off.
yeah, same.
Same with Sydney Sweeney. Hers was like a little different, but she was just saying like, it's interesting how this season everyone's like, oh my God, like Emmy performance, like Sydney Sweeney. And like, I get it. Like she is a little more emotional this season, but she's like, I was like also like really good in season 1 too. And like people weren't really like appreciating her craft. All they can talk about are like her body and like her tits. And it just gets old. It's like, can we like focus on these women's careers and just stop?
I'm gonna call you out every time you talk about Sydney Sweeney's tits from now on.
Well, no, here's the thing.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
but I as a woman to woman, like, yes, like, of course, like, these girls on this show are hot. Like, they're awesome. Like, yeah, they fucking rock their shit, but, like, it's not what we talk about all the time.
Rock your shit, girl.
Rock your shit, women. Euphoria girls. But, like, you know what I mean. Like, they do. They're hot shit, but, like, that's not what the whole show is about. So it's just, like, let's just stop the talk.
Yep.
Other than that, though, I think that's it for like Euphoria, like fiery news. Do you have anything else?
The only other thing I was going to mention is I
rearranging
saw, what's her name? Chloe Cherry doing like a thing with ID Magazine, and she mentioned that her character's full name is Faye Valentine, which is a reference to Cowboy Bebop, which I didn't know, and I feel stupid for not thinking of that earlier. But
that's kind of cool.
It's super cool. Faye's
Cowboy
a good
Bebop.
character.
I stopped watching that show. I know. Don't hate me.
Yeah, hey, write in and tell Paige that she needs to watch more than the first episode of Cowboy Bebop.
I'm watching Death Note, and I love that.
Yeah, we've been watching Death Note all day today.
Yeah, all day.
That's great.
Very stoned.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, should we get on to the episode?
I think we have to.
Sweet.
This one was...
Jesus.
I need a big gulp of this champagne before I even start. Honestly... I also want to put it on, I guess, because we should be watching it as we go. Because there was just so much going on in this episode. I can't even keep up. I was sweating. This was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
What's it called? What's the title again?
It's called Still Like a Hummingbird, which is a reference to a book by the author Henry Miller. I actually haven't read any of his books, but I've heard a few of them, especially like Sexist and Tropic of Cancer is supposed to be amazing, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Okay. Yeah.
So I am unfamiliar. He dated Marilyn Monroe, and I think they were married.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And this is a book that I believe is based on his real life experiences, and like I said, I haven't read it, but the summaries online seem to mention that it talks about some really like low times in his life, but I don't know enough specifics to like connect it to this episode in any way, but there you go.
Totally got it. Well, wow. I will say this. I know, like, I constantly praise Zendaya, but holy fucking shit. Her performance in this was out of control.
Yeah,
she's good. Like, leveled up. Like, as if last season, that was already, like, so good. But this was, like, a whole other, like, side of Zendaya. And I think I have mentioned this before as well, but you don't, like, know Zendaya as, like, Disney. So for me to see her like this is different than, like, your perspective. Right. You're, like, kind of watching her for the first time on screen. I've only
seen her in Euphoria and in the Spider-Man movies. And she really doesn't get to do much in the Spider-Man movies.
No. Like, she's cute in them and stuff, but, like, it's just very different. It's not, like, high emotions or anything.
Right.
But, yeah, seeing her come from, like, Shake It Up to this shit is, like... it is really cool. This
was pretty hard.
Most Disney stars don't really get to that either. So I'm like, go Zendaya for, like, breaking the glass.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah, this, like if she doesn't win an Emmy, I mean, that's just bullshit. This is, like, a very good performance.
She for sure should, I would say.
And the mom and Gia, I mean, all of Storm.
Yeah, this was brutal.
Really intense.
So savage. The mom having to, like, physically, like, protect Gia, like...
literally. And the
like,
mom
having
slapped
to, like,
Rue.
slap Rue, but not even, like, out of anger, but, like, out of being, like, leave your sister alone. Like, 'cause she's still, like, the mother to, like, the sister to Gia. She has to, like, protect her ass, like, 'cause Rue's going off on her.
She's going off. Well, what happens is, right, it starts out, the mom's like, you're doing drugs, and then immediately Rue's like, Gia, what the fuck? Because of that conversation they had about the weed.
Right. She tries to play it off like it's the weed and use the cover.
So it's, like, intense, but it's also so sad because, once again, we have to sit and watch how it affects her family members, and Gia in particular, it's just really sad because she, like, really, you can just see it in her eyes. She cares so much what Rue thinks of her, and it makes me sad that she was like, Mom, tell her I didn't, like, snitch, like, tell her, like, it just makes you, like, your heart break for her because she wants, like, I feel like she wants, like, a... what am I trying to say? Like, not camaraderie, but, like, she wants, like, a good sisterhood with her sister. I don't think she's ever, like, she's never shown any sign of, like, hating Rue or, like...
well, as the younger sister, you kind of always want your older siblings' approval in some way. Like, and she, like, Rue did, like, fake trust her with this, like, info about her smoking weed, and she wants to, like, Rue to know that she didn't betray her, like, trust, even though that was all, like, bullshit. Like, you know.
But yeah, that was really heartbreaking to watch. I don't know. I have little sisters myself, so it just made me sad that, like, she was so worried about Rue, like, thinking that she snitched on her. But things get escalated.
The first half hour, 20 minutes or whatever is just like...
her, like, throwing shit around, too.
Absolutely, like, savage to every member of, like... every person that she cares about in her life, her just, like, eviscerating all of them.
Yeah,
like,
and let me get this straight.
horrible.
So is the reason she's withdrawing because she did all those drugs that night or whatever, and then she woke up and the suitcases, like how often do you have to be, like, doing those type of drugs? Because I was a little confused.
Clearly, right now, she has to be doing them pretty often.
Yeah, so do you think she just upped her dosage? Because I was a little confused.
Like, that she doesn't have the suitcase, and... yeah, so...
well, I thought she was freaking about the suitcase because she's like, I'm gonna get fucked. Like, I don't...
no, she doesn't even... she's well beyond caring about that, as we saw. She had no plan to sell them. We already called this out in previous
So she's
episodes.
freaking out of the suitcase just because she wants the pills?
She just wants the drugs.
Damn, I thought it was because she was terrified that she was gonna get, like, trafficked.
No, we already have established that she had zero plan to sell the drugs. She got the suitcase just to do all the drugs and was always just, like, she didn't have a plan. She got the suitcase to do the drugs, and... she's freaking out because she wants to do the drugs.
Well,
like,
she is just tearing the fuck up out of this house. She's knocking dresses over.
If she had any concern for, like, what was going to happen to her, she never would have gone back to that house in the first place.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, unless she had that money. Like,
she also just wouldn't have even started doing the drugs out of the suitcase if she gave a shit about, like, the repercussions.
Right, exactly. So.
Well, I guess now I feel stupid. I thought the whole time she was just like, oh my god, like, I need the money, like, I'm going to get fucked. But I guess it's just because she literally just wanted to get high.
She doesn't really give
I'm laughing at that deer in Gia's...
yeah, dude.
Gia's got that, like, giant ass, like, Bambi deer in her room.
That's nice.
I kind of love it.
Yeah, I like that. That's
oh,
a cute
Gia,
deer.
that is really cute. Her and her little deer.
Cool.
It'd be fun to sit on that.
Okay. She might
Well,
be
like
a
ride
little
it like
big,
a horse.
but
Like, yeah.
like she's a little big for that. But
Okay, but it's in her room. But yeah,
well,
very, very
anyways,
intense. She also kicks a fucking hole through Gia's door.
she breaks the whole door down eventually.
Yeah, this isn't season 1 where she's just rap-a-tap-tapping at the Fezco's door. She's
No,
kicking.
she busts the whole house
She
down.
busts it down.
So then there's the big reveal that the big reveal that Elliot and Jules are present, and
Also, that was like
Jules is the one that Jules is the one
that ratted her out.
ratted her out to her mom.
But I don't know about you too, like brilliant writing, because I would have never have thought that whole scene. I didn't think once that Jules would have been the one to tell her, and not only that, I didn't think she was in their fucking house for all that.
No, me either. And I think that's
That was
like,
well done.
a big shout out to Jules and Elliot, because that takes so much like courage to be there for that, and to have to like see the repercussions of what you did like firsthand, and get like screamed at in the face and told like the most awful stuff. Like, it's the right thing to do, but that's so hard. Like, they didn't have to do that. They could have just told the mom. But like,
Yeah.
it's like so
Well,
it's like there's
it
no
sucks.
cowardice there. Like, they like went there to
Yeah.
like face the consequences of what they were doing, and boy did they.
Well,
and it sucked.
And no one wants to rat on anyone. Well, I hope, right? Like, Alex and I always joke, we fucking hate, like, rats. Like, that's just, if you're a rat, like, you're dead to me. Not in this context,
Yeah,
but in
right.
life in general.
But Rue's gonna die. Like,
No,
and
I
they don't
know,
want
but
her
I'm
to,
saying,
so-
but with that in the back of your head, it's like you said, it takes a lot of courage to be like, I have to put aside this idea that like I'm being a rat right now and just realize this is like so important, and if I
Right.
don't, I'm gonna lose like the one
They're
person
like
I love.
potentially saving her life, and
So
yeah.
scary though.
Also, points to Elliot again. Despite me not liking him earlier in the season, at least he's shown that like he is like
He cares.
he's a pretty stand-up dude. To like be there for this like is hardcore.
A part of me also thinks, though, in a sweet way, he obviously wanted to be there for Jules as well, because that sucks to have to take that all at once. Like,
No,
meaning, you
because
don't
he
think
wasn't.
so?
I don't think so, because he wasn't there for Jules. I actually thought it was kind of shitty. Like, and I don't blame him, because he just he feels bad about what he did. But he like leaves after Rue like rips him. He's not
True.
there for Jules, and then
True.
he's outside alone smoking. Like, he
But
was
also,
not
maybe
being
he's, like-
supportive of Jules. I thought
Maybe
that
he
was
just
kinda
wants to give her
shitty.
space, though. I mean, that's a lot. Like, that's not an easy, like, hey, let's chat about this. Like, maybe he was just like, you just got, like, publicly humiliated by your
I
girlfriend
don't
right
know,
in
that's
front
a
of
good
me.
time for a friend, for him to
That's
just step
true.
up and be like
That's
supportive
true.
of Jules, like during that time without like
Give me some more
ulterior
champs.
motives. You know, I don't know. I don't hold it against him, because he just got ripped too, and he clearly, as a fellow drug user, he feels like super bad about
Yeah.
what he did. Like,
Well, of course, too, because he's kind of like
and he
the
even
reason
says
it
like, I
even...
liked Rue better like the other way. Like, he didn't like doing this, and it's not like fun, obviously, to get ripped apart like that.
No, not at all.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like, props for like showing up at all and taking the beating, you know.
For sure.
Yep.
I literally have my foot in Alex's face. I apologize. My back hurts.
Ew. Yeah, it stinks.
I know, I'm
too.
like sitting in a weird position. Okay,
Smells
but
like
yeah.
blue
So
cheese wrapped in hot.
okay. It's hot in here. I know, I'm sorry.
I don't
Our
know. I don't know
apartment
where
is
I was going with that.
scalding. I feel like I'm in a fucking like warehouse or something, like with the heat on. I don't know.
Not a hot warehouse.
A hot fucking warehouse.
I hate when you're in a hot warehouse.
I don't know why I said
Is that a
that.
place you've been?
I'm
Like,
just pituring me
have you
like
been
working in
some
a
really,
warehouse
like,
and getting like
hot
sweaty.
warehouses?
I feel like warehouses, you just think of like sweat and like misery, and that's how I feel.
Huh, I guess.
The other thing I was gonna
Anyways.
say, yeah. Anyways, back to Zendaya's performance. I feel like also they talked about this in the behind the scenes, but like the look on her face when she finds out it is Jules, she acted that part so well, because that would be the most like jarring humiliation. I know she's like too
yeah.
fucked up to even really feel the humiliation, but you can see it in her face because her mom's like, "Are you
course.
embarrassed?"
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah, she's embarrassed. Like, she
yeah.
did such a good
Big
job
time.
of showing that initial just like horror of like, not only did Jules see this, but Elliot, like someone who really doesn't even know me,
But
just
someone,
saw
also
like the
someone that
most
Rue
vulnerable.
definitely clearly had like a crush on. Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like bad,
yeah.
just all around. Like,
Bad.
can you imagine how awful you'd feel if that was you? Oof.
Bad. Yeah.
But what she does here to Jules is really, really hard to watch. But I will say, Jules is a rock. She's like, the fact that she keeps saying, like, I love you and like repeats it over and over, like, I'm not gonna take your bullshit.
Yeah, she just understands. She knows that, like, this isn't, like, really Rue.
Yeah,
Like,
she knows the real Rue.
yep.
Where Elliot does not. He's like, I liked Rue, like, before. It's like, well, duh.
Yeah.
Of course you liked Rue listening to, like, Bob Marley and smoking in your room and, like, playing Truth or Dare. Like, yeah,
right,
no shit.
Right.
Everybody likes that Rue.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mom also, I mean, you just feel for her as a parent. This would just be so fucking shitty. I mean,
That would be horrible.
and it's hard because, like,
Especially all the stuff about her being at fault, like all the blame Rue's laying on her for it being her fault, not even about the dad. It's just like,
yeah,
you get to use
which
dad's
is harsh
death as
because
a
the
cover
mom,
to, like, for your shitty parenting, like.
well, also very harsh because the mom, from what we've seen, has done really nothing. Like, I don't want to say nothing wrong. Every parent does shit that's wrong, but she's for the most part been very level-headed and not like.
Rue was just ripping people left and right in
Just
any
for no
way she
reason.
can. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be based on anything real.
Ooh, but yeah,
So,
this
there
is
you
just
go.
a dark, fucking, very well done
Yep.
scene though. And then this made me really sad though. A lot of the parts where I like broke down are any time that she gets like this. And I was gonna ask you what you thought. Do you think like because she's in such a manic state, is she like faking this shit when she's like, I miss my dad, I wish my dad was here? Or do you think that really
No,
is like
I don't
her
think
going through the
so.
motions of like, first she's angry, then she's sad, then she's embarrassed, then she's sad,
No,
then she's
because it
angry?
doesn't serve her in any way to do that. Like, she doesn't get drugs or what she wants out of
True,
doing that.
true.
So I think it is just what she's going
That
through.
broke my heart. That was
Yeah.
really sad because then
Yeah.
you just see that she doesn't even care who's in the room anymore. She's that low that like she's saying stuff like she just wants to die. I mean, triggering stuff, like very deep, serious, very sad shit in this episode. Like I'm not
Yeah.
even being like funny about it. Like it is like a very dark,
Yeah, big
intense.
time. I mean, this is
episode.
the lowest that we've seen Rue yet. Like,
the lowest.
yeah,
For sure.
for sure.
Oof.
So there you go. They want to head off to the hospital / rehab.
Oh wait, sorry, not to
Um,
cut you off, but I just noticed too. I thought that was really symbolic when they showed like her hoodie.
I wonder if Gia's gonna like burn it or something.
Oh really?
When she looked at it, I was like, is she like? I don't think she
Oh.
actually is. But
I didn't
was
think
like,
she- I
what's she
didn't
like
sense
looking at
anger.
it like that for? Like,
I think she was looking at it like, should I pack it? Should I not? Like, is this
yeah.
gonna be too much? Like, dad's sweater being packed in the rehab bag? Like,
yeah, right.
I think it was more that, but you might be right.
That's
I don't
all
know.
I meant by that was like maybe she's like it's just like unhealthy the way Rue's like attached to this, and it would be
Yes.
better if it didn't exist anymore. But I don't know. That's just like bullshit.
Yeah, but I did like that they like showed that because that made me like even feel kind of like, oh, like the hoodie. I miss like
Yeah.
Rue's hoodie.
Yeah. So then Rue decides halfway there that she's having none of that. She hops out of the car, and then
I'm also laughing that Elliot decides this is the greatest time to like blow on a cigarette. Like,
Yeah, he
why
probably
did I
needs
say
a
blow on a
cigarette after
cigarette?
that,
Is that a
so-
thing? Light up a cigarette.
That's a really weird way to
blow
say-
on a
So
cigarette.
you don't really blow on a
No.
cigarette.
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah,
My
so,
brain is so jumbled.
I
Sometimes.
mean, I don't blame him. I'd probably need a cigarette after.
I
that,
get
so
it. I'm just
Jesus.
joking though, because they are. You have to remember they're in high school, and I just think it's funny because it's like the mom's still there, yo, and he's just outside like puffing on a cigarette.
I don't know. There were a lot of kids in my high school that smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean me too,
There's
but not in
some.
front of like
maybe
parents.
not a lot, but there were some.
Yeah, but I just thought that was. I don't know. I just kind of chuckled to
I
myself.
think the mom's
I was like,
got bigger
really,
things
after
to
all
worry
that?
about.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I
yeah,
bet
there they
she
go.
wishes Rue was a chain smoker, if anything.
Yeah, right. So Rue jumps out of the car, and then the rest of the episode is one giant foot chase.
Well, also, she admits to her mom and sister, which is kind of huge, that she's relapsed ever since she got home, which I
Yeah,
think to them
right.
was very shocking because they thought.
Right. They thought she was clean for a good while.
Also, I'm sorry, I keep having these like sporadic thoughts, but I also thought it was sad that Rue confronted Jules for the first time because in the special episodes, they show us a little bit about their conversation about the train finale scene where, Jules leaves her at the train station. And I thought it was like a very significant moment to point out that moment when she like says like, you left me at my lowest fucking point.
Yeah.
Like you did this. Like it kind of sucks that it had to come out in that fashion, but I thought that was like really sad.
It had to come up,
It did, but I'm saying she's clearly been bottling that up which
Yeah,
is sad.
right, of course.
It hasn't, like, she hasn't fully forgiven her for that, clearly, since it's coming up again.
Yeah, or it's just an easy target, you know.
Easy to say that.
She's just pulling out anything she can to, like,
to hurt people.
hurt these people right now. So, of
Yeah,
course,
so
that's, like,
this
an easy
scene's
win.
intense when she gets out of the car.
So, yeah, then she gets out of the car. She almost gets hit by a bunch of cars. She runs away. The whole second half of this episode really reminded me of a blaxploitation movie called Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Which is like basically like partway through that movie, the main character is like hunted by the police in LA and decides that he needs to get to Mexico, and then he just inexplicably like starts running, and he just runs from LA to Mexico. Like he just
Do
takes
they
off.
show all of it?
They show a
Well,
lot.
that's kinda boring.
There are long scenes where he is just like fucking running, and it's like pretty funny. Because you're just like, damn, he's really just gonna run.
He's just gonna keep running?
He's just gonna run all the way from LA to Mexico, and then he does, and it's completely ridiculous. But this kind of reminded me of that. Like the whole episode is just someone just fucking running.
Also, that's tiring. This must have been a really exhausting episode to film and to act, because like it's really physical. Like there was just a lot of movement. You're like,
yeah,
this type of scene to shoot would be really hard. Like the car one, I was like, shit, that'd be hard to like plan that. Like how do you like
to coordinate all the cars and traffic and stuff with people around. That's like a safety nightmare.
Yeah, I shared it on our Insta story though. Zendaya's like stunt double was really cute and was like stoked, because once again, Euphoria is really good at picking people that are like not already famous, and she said she had never done any stunt work before, so her double was like first timer. That's like funny. Running through those cars and shit, so that wasn't
There was one time when I was like, that's not her.
Really?
Like,
you could tell?
There's one moment when she's getting chased by the cops, and she does like a parkour jump like over a wall, and I was like,
that's not
Rue's
Z.
like barely like able to run right now. She's like falling apart. Like there's no way she was able to like leap over that wall like that athletically. But it was only that one time.
But
the
great
rest of
work.
It looked pretty believable.
The shots were really cool. Like when the cars crashed, that's later. But when the two cars like crash and shit, I was like, this is literally like I have palpitations. Like this is not good.
Total
I'm sweating. Like this is.
So Rue's running all over town. She goes to see Fez. He's not home. She goes to see Lexi. She gets into Lexi's house.
This is
really
so great.
off.
This was a good. I like how Euphoria too consistently always knows when to drop in like the comedic moment. It's like it's never out of poor taste.
Yeah,
you can go from such a dark, fucked up moment to like laughing and being like, "Oh my god, this is hilarious."
Yeah, this episode, I thought this episode looked really good too.
Yeah, it did.
Especially the scenes in the Howard house look great. Like
the lighting,
they really capture the warmth, and it's super like filmy. A lot of like grain.
Doesn't it also? The Howard house is so.
Nice. Why do the Howards have the best fucking lighting?
They really do. I also like that the balloons are all still there from the birthday
party.
They
have the greatest fucking lights in this home. They have all these crazy like big like ball lamps with like cherubs and like I don't know, statues and stuff. Well, it's fucking awesome.
Sydney and Lexi's room is also like
they have two great ones in their room, and then there's two great ones in the entryway, and they've got crazy wallpaper and shit. Like this is a good house.
I was gonna ask you, so. Am I stupid? Does Rue live so close to the Howards that like the Howard mom went in the kitchen that fast and called her mom and was like, Rue's here?
Well, they were probably out driving around.
True.
So
not to be like annoying, but I was pretty surprised. I was like, damn, her mom got there in like a minute. I guess
hypothetically they were like nearby, or they were potentially already like heading that direction, knowing Rue might go there.
I think they're close.
I agree, it's maybe like a little bit of a stretch for how fast they got there.
Well, it's close, though, because, like, she goes to Lexi's to get piss in season 1. Like, it's obviously, like, a quick bike ride away. So it probably wasn't that hard. But Miss Howard, man, she always carries. She is so fucking funny.
She's such a mess.
She's a mess, but, like, in such a great way.
Yeah,
like, I love Miss Howard.
She gets some good lines here, for sure.
So good. But this
White wine queen.
She's desperate. She's, like, going into their shit to get...
she's stealing their shit.
I'm laughing, too, because I'm like, they're not, like, those hoops she stole, I'm like... They're not like rolling in the dough. Like Miss Howard's wearing like
Bree's crazy
TJ
right
Maxx
now.
like juicy couture like she's wearing like the Nordstrom Rack like juicy sweatsuit.
Speaking of the juicy sweatsuit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We just watched The Click, so
The worst movie
deep
in the
cut reference
world.
to a just horrible
If
movie.
any of our Euphoria fans want to watch like the most horrendously awful movie, look up The Click and I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's so bad. Yeah, it taught me off too. I need some more. I can't believe I'm even drinking this much champagne for how hungover I feel, but sometimes you just have to rally in life.
It's an easy drinker after.
It also feels odd being like, sometimes you have to rally in life, as Rue's like literally sitting here like about to like, she has like withdrawals, and I'm like,
So it pops off at the Howard house. And Lexi, the only smart one around, knows right off the bat that, like, what's going on. Everyone else is like, oh, hey, Rue, what's up? Like,
once again, though, Lexi's always the observer. She's, like, the oldest. She's the most mature, so she knows something's up.
Yeah.
So this is literally the most quintessential, like, the best thing I think I've ever seen in Euphoria, is we never, I don't know about all of you listening, I never in a million fucking years would have thought Rue was the one to rat out Cassie.
Right, I didn't expect it. They had laid the groundwork with her seeing Cassie getting Nate's
yeah, but
car,
Rue never gets involved in drama, so you're always like, well, of course she's not gonna say shit.
Right.
But this was like perfect.
Yeah.
Once again,
and also
writing
classic,
so
because
good.
if Cassie had just kept her mouth shut, it never would have happened. Like, Cassie just gave Rue a reason.
I know.
Completely unnecessary.
So this whole scene is just fantastic. Maddie being like, wait, like, when was this? And the mom's like, can we stop? Like, this is about, like, Rue. She's literally, like, having drug withdrawals.
She's
can
like,
we
"This
not
is
talk
an
about your
intervention."
sex life? Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty funny lines during this, especially from Miss Howard, who's like, this is an intervention.
Yeah, she's like, this is an intervention, ladies. Like, we're not talking about your sex life. And Maddie's like, no, listen up. Like,
I'm literally gonna murder you.
She was like, what did she say? She was like, I'm about to get violent.
Is Maddie going to literally try to murder Cassie? She's got a gun, and it seems like she has a gun.
She doesn't have a gun?
In the preview for the next episode, it seems that Maddie has a gun.
Oh, you're right. No, I think that has to do with
They show
Nate.
the gun
No,
with
it's
the
Nate.
disc.
It's Nate. She's gonna threaten him with it.
Where does Nate get a gun? We haven't seen Cal or Nate have
I'm
a
not
gun.
saying-
I mean,
I
I'm
don't-
sure Cal has a gun. He seems like the type.
This is what I'll say. I think Maddie, we're seeing a little bit of a tiny character evolution. You know, she's evolving. I think once the steam blows off, she won't be as hard on Cassie as she will Nate. I think Nate, she's gonna double the fuck down. Because remember, she was like, oh, you just wait till...
I don't think so.
In
I
this
think she's
scene,
gonna
though,
go
she
after
even
both
says,
of
did you
them.
hear? She's like, because they were like, she says something. She's like, just wait till, like, I confront Nate about this. Like,
I think she's gonna go after both of them equally hard.
yeah, and I told Alex, like, Maddie is so my energy. Like, this is exactly how I would act and have acted toward certain situations in my life. Like, I love that Maddie's just not afraid to, like, get in a girl's face and be like, you don't fucking cry. Look me in the eye right now. Like, stop crying.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
this isn't about
classic.
you. Because I always tell Alex, my biggest pet
Cassie's
peeve...
playing victim. Like,
Yes, my biggest
whatever.
pet peeve is when girls do wrong and they cry. Ooh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. It's
They
like,
play
shut
the victim
up.
and they're the villain. It's like, you're the fucking villain
Yes,
here.
just own it.
You are not the victim. You're the villain.
Like, be
fuck
sorry
you.
and show remorse, but crying is not the way.
Yeah, stand up and, like, own your shit.
Be like, yeah, I did that, and I'm a shit person, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Crying, though, get the fuck out. So,
Yeah, fuck off.
Cassie, like, Cassie, she's letting me down this season. And
yeah.
she was getting a
Big
little
time.
defensive. Like, she
I
gets
know.
defensive.
Bitch, you have no place saying anything.
It's
here.
mean, because it's like, you know, even though Nate is a piece of shit and we all hate him, Maddie loved him and they were dating. They have history. So, like, this isn't just like you fucked, like, your best friend's fling. It's like, you fucked your best friend's, like, love, like, her first love. Like, that's bad.
Yep.
Bad news bears.
Yep.
Cassie is in the jail cell.
Yep.
She's in trouble.
Well, yeah, there we go. So that happens. Rue goes to Fez's.
Do you think, sorry, not to go back to the whole Cassie-Nate triangle, but, like, Lexi looked pretty shook, too. Do you think she didn't know?
No, there's no way she knew. Nobody
She
knew.
was like, holy...
Nobody knew.
I know, but Lexi's face was like, you could see those wheels churning. She's like, this will be great for the play.
Yeah, great material. Great material.
But yes, sorry, they get to Fez's.
Yeah, Rue tries to steal their grandma's medicine. Fez is like, nah, that's wrong on principle.
Of course, because that's so fucked.
Ashtray's in the back watching. I love that they're always just watching, like, movies.
Oh, are they watching something?
There's no way we're going to be able to figure out what this one is because they only show, like, a second of it. Ashtray's watching a movie in the background, and all they show is a man screaming for, like, 0.5 seconds. So if anyone can figure out what that is, like, insane
Do it.
props.
We have a
I'm not
couple-
even gonna try with this one.
No.
But
We
I
have a
do
couple
love
Twitter
that they-
followers that find out this shit though.
Yeah, I really do love that this is like an ongoing thing. It's like in the Fezco household, there's always some like weird old movie on,
Yep.
which I really like. They're not just watching like basic shit. They're always watching something old and like
Nah.
obscure.
They
I
Netflixing
appreciate
and
it.
chilling, but not Netflix, because
Yep.
They're
So
watching
yeah,
those old
Fez
movies.
kicks her out. Then
yeah,
what, she
it's
goes to
also
the
sad
other-
because
the crazy
Fez has
lady.
to like fight her. He has to like put her in like a
He
like
just
a
has to
choke.
carry her out. Like
I know, but it's funny. He's like oof oof, and I also, this is really immature of me, but I kind of laugh because like his whitey tighties were like hanging out. You could see his butt.
Oh yeah, well he's a white boy gangster, of course. He's always got to have
I know,
those
but I was like, oh.
low riders.
I just like how I noticed that though.
Gotta
I was
always
like,
have the
oh, I was
saggy
like, oh,
pants.
like Fesco's little butt. It's out.
His little butt.
Fesco's little
His
butt.
butt
It's
is
out to say
out.
hello.
Oh my god. Okay, weirdo. Alright. Getting weird.
Okay, but all the ladies are like loving on Angus, which I don't blame them these days. So like,
He's cute. He has an appeal. I see
yeah,
the
but you
appeal.
know what I mean. He's been getting a shit ton of press, which he should. He's great.
Good. His social media. Yeah, there it is. There's the movie. Just
Yeah.
it's some guy thrashing around in the water. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
look
like
at see, there's his
Piranha or
butt
something.
sagging out.
Yeah, he's his social media is great. His Twitter and stuff.
His
is
live
so
tweeting.
funny.
Oh, you know what I should do? Let's
He's always
see.
live tweeting hilarious.
Yeah, let's see
shit.
if there's any funny ones. You
He's
can
always
keep-
talking about how his manager wants to take away his Twitter because
I
he's
know.
so like.
I'm gonna pull up his Twitter
unfiltered.
right now and see if he said
Which would be
anything
a massive
funny.
mistake because it's amazing for his career.
I
that
know, like,
he's,
let him
such a
tweet.
character.
Let the guy live. Let him tweet.
Yeah.
He
he's
said,
fucking
"Give Zendaya her
hilarious.
Emmy now" in all caps. Agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else he said tonight. This episode had me holding my breath every 3 seconds. Same. That bird a drug dealer too? Cracking up.
Yeah.
What's
we'll
he
get-
talking about?
We'll get to the birds later.
Oh, okay. Oh my
Yeah.
god, one of his tweets just says, "That lady's voice is so interesting, laugh out loud." He's talking about the
Yeah.
drug dealer.
Yeah, she's I'm still trying to fucking figure out what I've seen her in, but she is like perfect for this role and is so like menacing and scary.
That's funny. Well, he said Rue really be given 0 fucks.
Yep.
He goes, "My mama would have smacked the orange out of me if I acted like that." Hashtag
orange.
Euphoria.
Nice. What does that even mean? The orange.
He's also really cute. He said, "This is how my
funny.
manager be acting when I tweet."
That's pretty good.
That is funny. Wow, I could read these all night, but he has a
I
lot.
would
Oh
love
my
to
god.
be his manager.
His first tweet says, "Fuck, I forgot to pay my HBO bill. Please hold." I love
good.
him. Anyways.
It's also pretty funny that he's on Euphoria and doesn't get free HBO. Like, come on, do you not get like?
Also,
do
like-
you not get an account? for
Okay,
being
but he's
on
also doing enough
a
press where
major
like there's
show?
no way he can't afford like.
Oh, I know. It's just funny. Yeah, he's a real character.
Trying to rearrange here without spilling my champagne. So after Fezco, what's next? Where does she go?
So then she goes and robs this house. There's not too much to talk about here.
No.
One thing I will bring up is that at the end of the episode, they do like their little special behind the scenes thing, and the director of photography was talking about basing a lot of this episode on photography.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
like a really interesting shot during this where they show out on the tennis court out back of this house that there's like a coyote standing there.
Oh, really?
And that definitely reminds me of a photograph I've seen, but I don't know. I have no clue, like, the artist or the
Oh,
name or anything.
that's
So
cool.
if anybody knows of, like, a distinctive, like, you know, famous photograph of, like, a coyote like that, like, in a
Interesting.
weird,
I
like,
thought it was just another
spotlight
dog. I wasn't like
situation.
paying attention, so I'm glad you caught that.
I'm pretty sure it's a coyote.
That's cool. Well, speaking of dog, we do have something to talk
It's
about in this
weird
scene.
and
Are you
creepy.
kidding? How cute
Well,
is that dog?
yeah, the dog's pretty
What was
cute.
his name?
Hank? Oh, there's the coyote. Yeah,
Oh,
it's weird.
yeah.
He's just standing there. It's real creepy. He's like totally just like standing stiff in the middle of the tennis
It's like
court.
a toy
weird.
one almost. It looks
And they make like a point to like focus on that, and it doesn't. There's no real reason for it, but that really, I was like, this is what they're
That's
talking
cool.
about. Like that was definitely based on something.
You were also joking about the safe in the room. How you're like, people always pick the worst fucking safe. Like,
why
don't
would
have
you
a safe if
fucking
your
bother
code's
to have
1, 2,
a
3,
safe
4,
if
5.
you're- Right? Why would you bother to have a safe if you're just gonna pick a code like 11111? Like,
The dog is
come
really cute in this, though.
on.
I was like, oh.
The dog's great.
Also, Speaking of dog and just everything, so many pet appearances in this episode. The most
We
animals
got
we've ever got.
birds. We got chickens. We got dogs. We got cats.
Also, if
Tons of
anyone
shit.
knows,
We got a squirrel statue.
do our
Great.
listeners know anything about your chicken obsession?
I don't know. I love chickens.
Yeah, I'm like, is that something you're okay with discussing
Yeah,
on the
of
pod?
course.
I know you like to keep your life private,
No,
but I feel like
no.
the chickens have to
I
be
love
spoken about.
chickens. I draw chickens. Big chicken Illuminati is a thing. So
Alex
you
like
know.
literally prints these stickers.
If you know, you know.
He prints
That's
these
all I'll
stickers that
say.
say "Big Chicken Illuminati" and he sticks them everywhere we go. It's like kind of stupid, but I
That's
kind of love
all
it.
I will say about that. I love chickens.
Yeah, it's very
so I was
secret.
stoked to see some chickens appear in this episode.
And parrots and all the crazy shit. But yeah, Rue running too. It just looks like she's constantly like having to take a shit. Like the way she's running, I picture that like being like you're running to make it to the bathroom.
Yeah, pretty much.
It just made me feel sick, especially because I'm hungover the whole time. I was just like, oh god.
So yeah, Rue runs all over the place. She gets accosted by the cops. She goes through a crazy backyard.
The cop scene was
like,
kind of weird.
A backyard like parkour chase through like multiple homes. It's like a Jason Bourne like scene. Like
Why were the
they're
cops
running
so
through
weird though?
backyards and shit. Cause they're fucking cops. Like that's
so
unfortunately
classic.
like realistic that if you're just minding your own business and you throw up on the street, which is not a crime, of course
No.
some cops are gonna like try to
Chase
harass
you.
you and give you a hard time about it.
That's
It's
why
like,
I was laughing. I was
what,
like,
I can't
what?
fucking throw up on the street?
Also, I
Pig,
was like, are you fucking deaf? He's like, what did you say? What did you say? Like, he says it
I
like
know.
4
I said,
times. I'm
fucking
like,
home, asshole.
hey, pig, can you not hear?
Yeah, what? Did your ears get chopped off? I'm going fucking home.
Yeah, her throwing up was kind of funny. But yeah, I was like, just leave her alone. She's just throwing up on the
She's just
street.
a teen
It's not a
girl that's gotta
crime.
throw up on the street. Like,
So
God.
what?
Maybe she's got the flu. Maybe she's hungover. Fuck off.
Also, if you were a normal fucking human being and you saw a teenage girl throwing up, your instinct wouldn't be to chase her down. You'd want to be like, oh my god, are you okay? Like,
Oh, I know.
You know
Of
what I
course,
mean?
instead they initiate some massive
yeah,
foot chase.
like it's like a robbery or something. They're
Oh, I
acting like this is
know.
like call in all the troops. Like everybody get here. Like let's
I
corner this
know.
bitch. Like.
It's preposterous. It's completely ridiculous. But it's also realistic because that is how the cops fucking act. So.
Yeah, a lot of car hopping. I was like, Jesus, she jumps over so
Yeah, she's lucky
many
she
cars.
didn't get bit by one of those Dobermans.
I know.
So she's running through all the back alleys, running past
Falls on
homeless
cacti.
people and stuff, running through the
Quinceañera.
quinceañera, you know, busting up that. the
Oh,
whole
but we were
thing.
saying it gets kind of like criminal because she literally causes a car crash. So if anyone's hurt, like that's on her.
Yeah, she definitely commits like a pretty serious crime due to the
Do
car
you think
crash
they'll follow up with
situation.
that? No, that's what I was gonna ask you. Do you think
Depends
after
if-
all this?
It'll all just depend if she ever gets caught or not. Like
I know, but I'm saying, do you think they'll even bother like looking into this? They kind of just leave when she gets in that trash
they
can.
don't really have a way to look into it because they have no clue as to like her identity. So it would be hard for them to like follow up on this given that she like does get away. But that is a pretty serious like deal. Like she definitely absolutely
This shot
causes
here.
like a car crash, and for all we know, it's like potentially deadly. So she's gonna have to deal with the guilt of being like, you know, there was a car crash. We won't know till later if like anything bad happened, but like
Yeah.
it looked like a pretty bad crash. It was
Oh.
head on, like you
Yeah,
know.
head on. I'm sure the people are fine. Like no one died, but
I don't know.
I mean,
We don't
yeah,
fucking
but like,
know.
yeah, it's still bad. It's
Sorry,
it's bad.
like Rue might have to add like the guilt from that to like her conscience.
Yeah.
Like I hope not. But
Well, this is the first time we're
knows?
also seeing Rue do some serious shit. Like this isn't just season 1 stuff where you're kind of like making bad decisions that are more sloppy, like
yeah,
teenager
right.
ones. This is like adult like shit. Like if you were to go to court, like you're fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. So then at the end of all this, she ends up at the drug dealer's house,
Mm-hmm.
who is just like so menacing and like creepy. Like you know, this lady's just bad news.
Like
all
Fesco
around.
said, her voice is like, it's
She's
oddly
creepy.
scary.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
it's
so
very
creepy.
unsettling.
She's so menacing, and she's like alluded multiple times to like trafficking people. She's got a creepy like locked room in her house. She keeps her front door locked. There's all this
What do you
symbolism
think's behind
with,
that locked door?
There's so much symbolism with the birds and cages and stuff. Like you know,
The most hideous like like Walmart tea that's like, it's a jungle out here.
Yeah, I do really like her bird wallpaper, and as a bird lover, I love that she has all these birds, but having all these birds in cages, I feel like is very like
Symbolic.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this is like bad news.
Also, it was so funny how
Sure enough, I mean, Rue ends up in a cage. Like
totally. And she was so like monotone. She was like, in high school, like I was an addict. I got addicted to Oxycontin because of like a, she just
Yeah,
gave her whole
right.
kind of like background. And you're just like, she is so
Oh, there's the
eerie and
chicken.
weird.
That's nice. Yeah, I thought for sure Rue was gonna end up in that locked room, but not yet. But she still might, and I think she probably keeps.
What
like,
do you think? Like women?
I think she
Girls?
probably keeps like a trafficked girl in there that she prostitutes out.
I think
That would
more
be
than
my
one.
guess.
Sadly, in a lot
It
of
sounded
those
like
situations,
there was like scratching on that.
Yeah.
Like,
Ugh.
given how small that place is, I don't think it could be more than
Gross.
one because she's got to be like running prostitution shit out of there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it is.
No,
more than one.
I think so because usually in
Maybe
those
she's got a whole
situations,
stable.
it's really dark. But I'm familiar with this stuff just from like general like true crime research.
From being a white bitch into true crime.
No, don't put me in that box. No,
You
no,
are a white girl that is heavily into
I
true
watch
crime.
a lot of Law and Order SVU, and
Uh-huh.
usually when this shit happens, they, because they don't give a shit about the girls. They put them all in like one room. Like they have really bad living
Yeah, or,
standards.
like bunks. And
That's what I'm
stuff.
saying. So it might not just be one. There could be like 5 girls living in there.
I don't know. That'd be tough. That place. Is
I mean, it
real
would, but
small.
That's
It'd be
true.
hard. What's the bathroom situation?
But if
like?
she's drugging them like she did her, and you don't know. But
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely trying to get Rue like addicted.
well, she was like, the first time I saw you, like I knew you'd be in my life for a long time. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's the
ooh, this is
scariest
bad.
shit. Okay, so question: Is
Yes.
Rue going to be able to avoid getting like caught and trafficked? And if so, like how?
This is where it might get tough. Like you and I, we have so much trust in Sam. We always do. And he does always perform, meaning like the story I don't think has ever been unrealistic or has like let us down in this way yet. Meaning like following the drug crime stuff and like everything that's going on. I feel like if she's not found, then Sam's failed us because this is a small little town.
I don't know.
This place is not far away.
Well, but I think she's still okay. So here's my take.
Does that
on
make sense? Though I'm like, how could they not find her?
I think
Someone
she
this
still
smart and
has-
calculated isn't gonna find her.
I think she still has a way out. I think it's pretty
It'll be
unlikely. I think it's pretty unlikely, but I think she does have options out. She can't give back the drugs because the drugs are gone. So she can still pay back her debt.
Well, she was like, you still owe me my money. Like, this isn't a pawn shop.
Right. She can
Yeah.
still pay back her debt. So that is possible. So there is, I
Yeah.
think there is a way out of it, but the question is, like, what does she have to do to pay back that debt? Like, outside of being trafficked by this lady.
Sorry, I know we're talking
And,
serious,
I
but
don't
she's
know.
also wearing Crocs.
I know. It does seem like maybe like Fezco is gonna have to like make a decision about coming up with like the money for her or something, and that
Yeah.
can get
No, I already have a
get
couple things
rough.
in my mind. I think a lot of people, as I told you, I know I don't like putting this into the atmosphere or universe, but a lot of people have said they think something's bad is going to happen to Ashley or Fezco. I don't know if it's death, but I think something bad is going to happen because I think she's going to have to lean on Fezco, and Fezco's like family to her, and he cares so much about Rue that he'll do anything for her. I really believe that. So I think he's going to help her get out of this mess.
I mean, the only
She's
way
not
she
gonna
gets
come
out
up
of
with that
this-
money on her own.
The only way
There's no
she gets
way.
out of it is paying the debt.
I know, but I'm
And
saying-
that means her mom takes out a loan and like pays this off in cash, or Fezco like helps her out. And
The
pays
mom's
it
not
off in
going to do
cash.
that. They don't even have money. Like, they live
She
in
has
that
to
tiny
tell the mom
house. She's a
first. She
single
doesn't even
mom.
know. Nobody even knows that this is out there, which
know.
honestly is one of Rue's biggest failings because Rue doesn't know these people won't go after her family. So she
Yeah,
like owes it
that's
to them
true.
to tell them that they're in danger.
But
and
Rue's
she's
not in the
going
best
to.
place. She's not really, like, thinking straight.
No,
So I don't know if
think
she'll
she's
do that.
going to, but I hope she does.
The only thing that sucks, though, is the mom's going to see her arm. And that made me sad because when
See.
Rue woke up, she, like, lifted her arm, and you could tell that that was, like, too far. Not, like, too far for her, but it was. Like, she looked at it like,
Well, yeah,
this isn't good.
because she's never done that before.
I know, but she was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
And what are the effects? You were saying, like, morphine. I'm not, like, I know a little bit here and there, but, like, is morphine injected like that? Is that a drug where it's almost like heroin? Like, once you do it, it's just, like,
Well, it's the same base ingredient, which is like, poppy, which is like opium, morphine, like
So she's gonna be
heroin.
hooked. Like, we're fucked. In
All
other
that
words.
stuff is based on like the same like base.
Yeah. Damn, I hate that for real.
So it's like obviously like highly addictive.
Yeah, the bathtub scene was really dark. I was freaking out.
Yeah, dude. I'm
I
amazed
wanted
that
to,
she
like,
honestly I'm
rescue
amazed
her.
that she got away. I thought this episode was gonna end with her in the locked room, so the fact that she got away at all was
It was
pretty
intense.
insane.
I'm glad
I
she
didn't
did.
see that coming.
Glad she fucking did.
Yeah.
Also, that guy is a fucking heavy sleeper. The one by the door, I was like, are you kidding me? There's like parrots going off.
Yeah,
It's
all the
like,
birds.
like
I'm
she's
also
dropping
curious,
keys. She's squeaking on the wood with her Converse. I'm like, come on, that guy's still asleep.
I'm also curious what movie the lady's watching in this scene, which is something that would be. I'm sure that's easy to find out because it was a much longer
Her
clip.
place is so fucking wild. This whole apartment is crazy. Like, look at her bamboo table. Like,
It's really weird. The decor is so bizarre.
it's also really unsettling. Like the neon lighting, I
horrible.
hate. Like in the kitchen.
God, they have that.
Alex and I
awful
always
fluorescent
hate that.
white lighting. It's
Yes.
so horrible.
It's just unsettling.
Ugh. If
yeah.
you're living with that type of lighting, like swap your bulbs out.
I
Get some
know.
like naturalistic, like warm
Warm
like
yellow lighting,
incandescent
yeah.
lighting. It's so much nicer.
Also, wow,
You'll feel better, I
drug lord
promise.
lady, she's eating a microwave meal, so that's kind of weird because it's like, aren't you making like a lot of money? B, her fridge has way too many magnets. She
Oh
needs
my
to do a
God,
clean
so
out.
many magnets.
She needs to do a clean out on that
So
fridge.
many magnets. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole place though overall so dark, so scary, weird. Hate it. Hate
So
her.
she's gonna make her money back one way or another. So we're
What's
just gonna
her
have to
name, by
wait
the
till
way?
next week.
We're just gonna call her Janet, the drug dealer.
We'll just call her Janet.
Janice
That's fine.
or Janice.
Yeah, Janice.
I like Janice. Janice, the drug dealer.
Yeah, that's good.
The little squirrel. That squirrel statue by the morphine is funny.
Yeah, a lot of nice animal close-ups in this episode, including the squirrel morphine.
Yeah.
About
But wow, that's a lot. What happens after this?
So after that, Rue makes her escape. She's smart, goes out the window. She escapes the Elliot Stabler lookalike.
Yeah.
Also, a good chance to shout out a movie I really liked from this past year, Titane. If anyone's seen that, that's a great. If you haven't seen Titane, I recommend it because there's a lot of Euphoria crossover.
Really?
The main character is a like quasi transgender serial killer who's like rekindling some kind of bizarre relationship with her father, who's like an aging like bodybuilder fireman type.
Meatball's over here. He has a hairball.
Yeah, poor
Oh,
Meatball.
sweet Meatball. It's fine. You can keep talking.
But her father looks a lot like this guy. He's like kind of like a formerly beefy like white guy, and he's using like
Her
steroids
father?
pretty heavily in the.
Oh,
in
in
the movie,
Titane. I was like, in
Titane.
Euphoria, there's no father.
Yeah, this guy really reminds me of that guy. But so yeah, anyways, Rue makes her escape.
Which
Great.
is a great escape, by the way. Like, honestly,
She does well.
yeah, because, like, she does it right, and she's smart to be like, I need to get the fuck out, like, immediately. She senses. And do you think it's because she's a little, not sober, but now that she's a little more, like, on a level that she's used to? Meaning, like, she's usually always doing drugs, which is almost like her being sober, if that makes sense. So I feel like she's kind of coming to her Rue senses. She's like, this is not good.
I don't know. I think she's just she still has her limits of things that like she's not completely like destitute yet. There are still things she like doesn't want. She doesn't want to be like trafficked as like a prostitute. Like
That's not the goal of,
she's
like,
not,
doing
like-
drugs. Yeah.
She's not like zonked enough yet that she's like cool with that like being her life. So I think she still has like enough of a motivation to get out of there.
Also, just as a visual, Alex just poured me a glass of beer. Literally, like, poured a tall boy
We
of...
ran out the cook, so now we're drinking some mango tall
Ew,
boy.
it does smell good.
It's
Also,
not bad. It's easy drinking when you have a hangover.
I know, and I can't believe I'm even doing this, but bottoms up.
Yep. So Rue gets out. We have a flashback situation right before she gets out, where we see some scenes with her father. We see the speech, excuse me, the speech
Yeah,
she gave
the
at her
funeral,
father's
which
like
was
little
so
like
rough.
thing in their house.
Well, also, I like that, I know it's, like, a small detail, but I like that Lexi was there right behind her. It kind of, once again, like, shows that Lexi's always been, like, such a good friend.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, in the
Nice.
funeral, when she's reading the speech, Lexi's right behind her. And is super, like, looks just very, like, worried about her.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, the little girl that plays Rue is so adorable too. You didn't know this, but on social media there were like all these behind the scene videos of like Zendaya saying like how much she brought light to like really this episode was so horrible and like dark and just depressing to do. The little girl was like really fun. She had to like help her like
That's cute.
in the bath scene. She was like helping her like be okay because that scene where she's kind of laying down, she's all in water. She was all like freaking out, and
Yeah,
Zendaya was like
right.
making her happy and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it also shows us like it's just like any other story of like an addict, right? Like you always have to kind of look back and realize that they're like so human and they it's like people don't choose this path. It can sometimes literally just I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like it can just happen to anyone. Meaning like there's no like sometimes people love to put labels on that shit. Like, oh, like of course someone that's like rebellious and like bad at
Right.
school like does drugs. It's like no, that's not it. Like
Well, like that scary, like the scary lady said, like she was just an athlete that got like an injury
Yeah.
and like didn't even know she was addicted until she ran out, and like that happens to plenty of people. You get in car crashes
Scary.
and shit, and in America they overprescribe the shit out of opiates, so you just get like an injury. A lot of the time it's a car crash. Tons of people get like a
Yep.
back injury or a neck injury from a car crash.
And
Then
they get all
get
these, like,
prescribed
pills.
like oxy or something, and then next thing you know, you're like fucking hooked on like hardcore opiates.
No.
Like that's why America has a like insane opiate crisis, like because they.
Yeah.
I mean, not to go down a rabbit hole, but the companies that make these things like push
Yeah.
doctors to overprescribe this stuff hardcore. They did for so long that the whole like country became like fucking like inundated
yeah.
with this stuff.
No,
Whatever.
it's awful. No,
Anyways.
it's okay. Like that's why I brought it up. Like it's something just to note that like I like that they show all these little like flashbacks because it shows that like she is just a normal young girl who lost her fucking dad. Like that's I just feel like sometimes people and this is just me probably just speaking out of personal experience, but like I feel like a lot of times people just overlook that stuff as like, oh, well, they're strong though and they're fine. They're like, they're happy now. Like, that was a long time ago. And it's like, no, that shit like stays with you for the rest of your life. Like, when you go through a death or anything like what she went through, losing her father, like, that's some shit that sticks with you. And it really doesn't ever leave. Like, it's depressing to say, but like, I know that from personal experience. So watching her like just be a normal, happy, cute little girl go down this path, it's really sad. It just like makes you like, oh, Rue, like you just want to give her like the most giant hug. Like Zendaya posted before this episode,
Yeah.
I told you like a whole little really cute message, just saying like I
Yeah.
hope that everyone like really like gives Rue like a big hug tonight, like she needs it before you like judge her actions, because it is really quick to be like fuck Rue for like hurting Jules and like her parents and like
Right.
her family, but it's like but at the end of the day, like when you're an addict, like that stuff all goes out the door and they're not even really themselves. It's like out of human,
Yeah,
out of body
right. I
experience.
mean, it's pretty clear in this episode that she's just like literally down to do fucking
Rock
anything
bottom.
to get the drugs.
Below rock
like,
bottom, I would say.
Absolutely anything, like
Yeah.
So,
But anyways, I just the
Ugh.
funeral scenes were very, very hard for me to watch. That was just
Yeah.
very sad. I mean,
yep.
it's just not you don't wish that upon anyone. And for her character and to see that and to see where she is now, I only wish the best for our little Rue. It's sad. I hate it.
Yep.
And not just for Rue. Let's not forget, not just Rue, her family. Gia,
Oh,
her
yeah.
mom.
I mean, it fucks them all.
It's easy
up.
to be like, oh, like, you only want the best for Rue, but
Yeah,
then you're
right.
like,
how can they have
what
a
about her
whole
family?
life, like when this is like going on? Like,
yeah. And like,
can't.
I know you were like saying, yeah, it is weird that part when like the mom was like, Gia, like, can you please help look for your sister? She's like on her phone, like on Instagram. But you have to remember, like, she's so like tired of this. She's exhausted. Like, this happens all the time. If you're
I
a
know.
sibling, meaning I've like known addicts in my life, and when they're just repeating this behavior over and over again, you do kind of sadly get like,
Jaded to
yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as shocking anymore. You're just like, well, of course they ran away, or like, of course they're not. It's
Yeah.
and you're also
Yeah.
kind of selfish. Like Gia, you see all the time. She doesn't ever get. It's really sad, but like, she doesn't get a lot of like attention from her mom because her mom's always having to worry about Rue, and like you can tell she's just kind of like the forgotten like space in the family, and she's like mistreated by Rue. She's not really paid attention to by her mom, so it's like. Of course, in those moments, she's a little like, really? I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, Tio and Tamara were being dicks to her all the time.
Yes.
Like, Where are they?
Where are the twins?
They have yet to show up in this season. Come on.
Where are McKay's brothers?
Where are the McKay brothers?
That was brought up in the McKay tweet, the trending tweet. I like posted on our Insta story, and so many people were like, "What about the brothers?" And I was like, "You're right. Like, what about the brothers?
What about the weird twin brothers? They were interesting side characters. I wouldn't mind if they showed up again.
I know.
They're still in high school with them. They could still be a part of this.
I don't think they will though.
Come on, give them some like background scenes. Like at least like BB's still in it. Like they could have that. They could be there.
I know.
Come on.
We could have used some more BB. I was one thing I didn't say last week.
More BB shit.
I know, but I didn't like. They never showed her once in the hot tub. I was like, BB would be so comedic and funny in this scene, and they didn't show her once. Did you notice that though?
I agree. They're not recognizing what like comedy gold.
Like I don't need BB's
is.
backstory. That's not what I'm saying. I don't need to know like BB's life.
She just needs to be a bigger like side character.
Yes.
They could expand her role as a side character and just give her more screen time because she's fucking fun.
Rather her than Ethan. Or really, I don't know.
Ethan's gonna be out next week anyways.
We can tell
from the preview.
The sneak peek.
All right, so there we go.
Sorry, I could go on and on and on.
Yeah, right.
I could go on and on.
Usually we do superlatives at this point, but this week
we mutually decided
this whole episode is basically just Rue running. There was hardly any music that wasn't like Euphoria music in it.
Yeah, the little
and there's hardly anybody in it but Rue.
It was very labyrinthy.
Everyone else's appearances are just like minor, you know. So
yeah.
I don't know, not much to say. The only thing I'll mention on that front is I thought Kat looked good in this episode. She was kind of back to what I was talking about earlier, kind of like a 90s, like Gen X vibe, where I'm like, that works for her, and she should be embracing that, and she kind of was in this episode with the leopard print and the hair and stuff.
And the blue eyeliner looked cool.
Yeah, I was about it. So I was like, that's like definitely like the look for Kat. Like,
also, you know what? We said we weren't going to do superlatives, but I will throw out Babe episode as Jules for having the courage to do a really hard thing, which is as a lover, a friend, a family member, whatever it may be, to have someone's back like that and have to tell on them so that you know they'll be safe.
Well, it shows that Jules really loves Rue, because if you love someone, you're not thinking about yourself and your relationship with them. You're thinking about what's literally best for them, which is Rue needs like to live and to go to rehab and shit. Like,
so, Bae of the episode is Jules, and that's where we'll leave it.
I'll agree with that. I mean, I guess Class Clown's probably like what, Miss Howard? Like...
Yeah, Miss Howard. Probably. I think that's it. There weren't many funny moments other than Maddie saying she was gonna get violent. That was funny.
Yeah, right. Not a lot else going on, but figured I'd call out Kat because in season 1 I was pretty harsh on her style, but it's been a lot better in season 2, and I think that I think this like kind of look like really works for her when they like do it right. So I appreciate that they found a vibe for her that's kind of like working.
Totally. Well, to be fair too, like Kat, her character was going through so much in season 1 that she wasn't really being herself.
Yeah, also true.
So we can't give her too much flack.
Yeah,
but on that note...
No, the Ghost World vibe is good for her.
On that note, I'm going to pull up our Change Our Minds, bitch.
Yeah, change our minds, bitch.
From last episode, we had a couple entries. Let's see what we have here.
What do we got?
I'm going to pull them up. I'm going to read them to you, and you're going to tell me. Okay. So we got one submission that says, I am not unconvinced that Elliot didn't take the bathroom drugs so that he would be able to get it up later. Elliot is nothing but a horrible friend. Okay. Or no, I'm sorry. Elliot is, if nothing, a horrible friend. So I think what they're pointing out is you and I last episode were discussing, I was joking and saying, why do you think Elliot didn't take that line of drugs that Rue left him in the bathroom? And you were like, because he was like trying to be cool with Jules, and also like he was like, Rue's taking it kind of far.
Yep.
I'm just trying to have like a chill night.
Yeah, I think in this case,
But they're not wrong in that moment. I don't disagree.
I think this episode vindicates us in this instance and proves us right that he is somewhat of a good friend.
Yes.
And that his motives, while suspect many times, at least more recently, his motives have been in the better interest of like both Rue and Jules, like being honest with Jules and being part of like the situation with Rue. So
yeah,
disagree. I do think
disagree.
I don't think his motives
would have agreed
like
maybe a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, and I don't think we can say at this point that he's like a bad friend, whether I like it or not. I think he is not like complete shit and has been a pretty good friend, at least in the last 2 episodes. So
agreed.
Disagree on that.
Okay. we had another submission. As much as Rue is manipulating Gia into allowing her to do drugs, Rue has spoken about how sobriety does bring on suicidal ideation in previous episodes. So I do think that that stems from truth. Not saying that it's right, but there is truth in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
So this was me kind of saying, I felt that in that moment, Rue was manipulating Gia, just kind of throwing out suicide as like a... Like, I know that sounds bad and low. I'm not, like, trying to, like, call Rue out for being, like, a bad person, but I think, like we just said about this episode, when you're almost, like, hitting rock bottom, you'll kind of just say anything to, like...
Yeah, right.
To make people feel bad for you, to trigger any sort of, like, emotion.
Right. I think this episode also proves this person right and not us. And that there is, like... Truth.
Wrong again, us.
No, not wrong again. We were right on the last one.
I know, I'm kidding.
I think they're probably right on this one. I mean, I think it was being used manipulatively at that time, but I agree that with this person that there is truth behind that. So, yeah.
Okay.
Mine changed. Good work.
The last one. Elliot's room, while it may be kind of lame to an adult, it is 100% accurate to what an artsy teenager with freedom to write on their walls would do. Okay, here's the thing about this one. I never said that that's not what an artsy teen would have. I just said it was fucking stupid.
Yeah, it didn't say it was unrealistic. Just that it was dumb.
But
also,
Alex and I just, like, stuff like that, we're automatically going to roll our eyes to because we hate, like, Alex and I are not fans of, like, live, laugh, love, like, or like...
I don't think he was writing live, laugh, love.
Okay, but it might as well be. It's just written in another way that's like, oh, I'm so artsy and, like, hipster. You might as well just write live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though. It's, like, cheesy. It's just dumb.
Yes, I do know what you mean. I mean, at the end of the day, like,
it's so minor.
My take on this is, like, I was picking it out to, like, have an easy target to rip on Elliot for, because I was highly like anti-Elliot at the time.
But you and I, okay.
Of course, this
but
is
paint
what
the scene. If you
like.
and I were at a house party and we walked into a room and you and I were drinking, and we saw that, you and I would immediately to each other start being like, oh my god.
Yes, but also he is, like, you know, he's basically like a
As
child.
we have a frame of, like, a cat above our bed.
Okay, that's a
not just
picture.
A cat. I shouldn't have said it like that. Our cat.
Not a cat.
You know what I mean, though. Like, I'm not like,
Yeah,
but...
I mean, he's a child at the time. Like, I'm, like...
It's fine.
A little more forgiving of it. Of course, it's lame. But also, like, for context... I always hated everyone that I went to high school with. So, like, it's normal teen shit. So, like, okay and forgivable. Like, that's just classic, like, artsy teenager, like, angsty shit. But I always hated people like that, even when I was, like, a teenager.
I get it.
So, it's, like, definitely consistent and within character for me to find that, like, come on, gross. Like,
and it's all in good fun. It's, like, you know, there are cool people, like, I will say, like, think of me in high school. Are you kidding me? My aim away message was like, when I was like really sad, I'd set my away message as the Fix You lyrics from Coldplay.
Oh man. Yeah, see, I would have been like,
so I'm like, it's normal.
Lame.
Like the fan that wrote in, yes, like that's normal. Like teenagers in high school are gonna be like dopey
not
and
inaccurate.
artsy. Yeah, not inaccurate, but
yeah, just kind of.
But it's still stupid, and I still don't like it.
All right, well there you go.
I don't know if anyone changed our minds.
No, I was changed my mind on the suicide thing.
Yes, I was too.
I thought that was pure manipulation at the time, and now I believe that it was being used manipulatively, but that there was
a lot of truth to it. She said over 3 different times in this episode that she was suicidal.
Genuine, like, truth and intent behind it. So my mind's changed on that. So you were right.
Also, on a very, like, very, 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 very serious note, I linked in our Instagram the same thing that HBO always does, which are resources. If you know anyone or are having thoughts like rooted in this episode, I think it's important on this podcast. Like, we like to have fun and, like, joke around, but this episode showed a lot of really serious shit, and this is yet another reason I love Euphoria, is it's real, it's raw, it's not always the most comfortable to watch, but there's a lot of shit that happens in real life that's not comfortable. Yep. And for real, if you need any of those resources, they're on our Instagram. So just wanted to point that out.
Nice.
Because this was like a very deep, dark
cheers
episode.
to that.
Well, cheers to resources.
Let's drink some alcohol.
Cheers to therapy. Cheers to all the things.
Yeah,
it's important.
I'm pro
but
that.
yeah,
Big.
that was my one serious note
Classy.
for the podcast, because I know that we It's hard because Euphoria is such a fun, comedic, exciting show, but like we said in the beginning, it's so silly that Dare even said that like they glamorize this shit. If anything, this episode shows that like real life can be fucking scary, dark, and hard.
Yeah. Well, also it evolves over time. You know, what season 1 was is not what season 2 is. And
Exactly.
I'm sure season 3 will be something else. So it's hard to like just classify it as
You
one
can't.
thing or another. Like,
No, you
know,
can't
I think
put a
season
label on
1, you have more of an argument to say
Yes.
something was glamorized or whatever, because there's more like casual drug use amongst the side characters in season 1.
Yeah.
In season 2 we haven't really seen any of that, like, you know,
No.
there's no like, oh, we're gonna do Molly, like,
Yeah,
amongst
just for
these
fun.
side characters, that type of stuff.
Totally.
That's not really like happening much.
No.
So, you know,
But
like
yeah.
we don't have Jules at some rave, like we don't have Cassie and
No.
Maddie at the fair, at least not yet. So
Well, next week I'm I'm like shaking in my boots. Like I don't know what to expect.
you don't have boots on.
Well, Maddie has a gun. She's got the disc. Like there's a lot that's gonna happen.
We don't know for sure that Maddie has a gun.
Well,
but
she
they
might.
make it look that
She
way.
might.
They've been deceptive in their advertising.
They
But they
always
definitely
are.
make it look like Maddie has a gun.
Okay, well,
We'll see.
who knows? But I'm
Somebody's
excited for
got a
next
gun.
week. And I will say this season is it's slapping. This is a good fucking season.
I like it way better than season 1.
It's so good.
So far.
It's so good. Oh, one more
Much for
note.
my taste.
One thing we can cheers to on the end of this. No, this is important. This is something to celebrate. On a happier note to end, we got renewed for season 3.
Well, yeah, Euphoria did.
Well,
What
that
about
means we
we?
did. That means we
yeah,
did.
true. Yeah,
No,
it's
I'm
okay.
saying not
Yes,
we.
yes,
I'm
yes.
saying we as a community, Euphoria
Yes.
has been renewed, which means
Right.
that's so euphoric. It's absolutely
That's
renewed.
True.
Cheers
Yeah. Okay.
to Euphoria
cool.
season 3.
All right. Well, should we cheers? Should we wrap it up? Should we?
I think we
cheers to it
should.
all?
Do you have anything else you want to drop
No,
in
I
to the
don't.
fans?
That's it.
Yeah, everyone, just thank you
Tell
so
me
much
what
for your
movies they were
support.
watching. That's all.
Yeah, and thank you for your support. Our listens have been like insane.
Yeah, loved meeting some fans out in
Yes,
IRL
in the
real
wild.
world. Well, I didn't get to meet
Fans
them,
in the
but
wild. You didn't.
I
but
imagine
did.
it was nice. So.
It was nice, and you
That's cool.
actually have gotten a lot of Twitter shout outs this week. Like it's just been really nice. We
Hey.
feel the love. We feel the love.
So
But yes, I think we can cheers on that and say
Alright, cool.
that's so fucking euphoric. We'll
that's so
see you.
euphoric.
See you next Tuesday, bitches. Like today's episode? Great. We love that for you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave us a podcast review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever the fuck you listen to us weekly. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at @so_euphoric for all the Euphoria updates you could ever possibly want in your life. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out, bitches.